started the song with Tandane, touching the note. I know it's a first string 7th fret note. I can try the G major chord. That's an obvious chord I can try. It's a E minor chord. So since I'm already playing the B note, from the G, relative minor, E minor I can always try and C. D major, G, F sharp minor. I'm just trying options. G major, D shape. That's a possibility. So we'll be playing. B minor possible. In the video I have instead played starting with a suspended chord. Just I am using basically the G is there and it's a D major chord is also there. So I just started with the suspended note. Actually the B note is not there. I'm letting the vocal do it. So in the video most of the chords which I've used, I'm not strictly following the melody notes. Instead I'm also playing other chords so that the melody notes will be added to them for extra color. So that's the next step we can do. So in this case, along with the vocals, it will sound like this. I'm only playing the suspended fourth here. There and all I'm playing G major properly. Or it can be E minor with all the extra notes. Because those notes are there in the song, I'm adding them. The D note and the G note. Along with the E minor, it will give us a bigger, more colorful sound. So, just have a look at the video, try to identify what could be the possible chord notes. So there the chord name is just an afterthought. I'm going with the shapes, I'm letting the vocal add the extra color. Another example of letting the vocal add instead of we playing the chord note is, for example, let us say I'm going to sing. I can play A minor chord without playing the F sharp note. See, it gives a minor 6 sound. So it's not all the time that we have to play the note in the chord. We can also let the vocal do it. Of course, it's a little bit difficult for some vocalists to do it when we don't have the chord to support the vocals, but this is a good way of doing it. Like the chord, the guitar and the vocal together, they are singing like in a choir. Repeat the same tantani tantani, then okay, we need a little bit of suspense. So I'm going with the A major chord. It can be implied A7. A7 can be implied. D minor. Okay, good. So we have, instead of going for too many chords, I'm just going to stay with the A and the D minor. Now we need a rhythm for that part, right? So the sound clave rhythm. All I'm doing is down up strokes. All the rhythm is formed because of the muting which I'm doing here. Goes on. So here what I'm doing is, if you have more questions on this kind of things, have a look at the link given in the description. You have options to get more content on this kind of rhythm and other topics, and also corrections and guidance. Many of these things it won't work by just looking at the video and learning. You may have some particular things you may have to correct, error oriented deliberate practice. Have a look in the link below. Then after that, they're going for an open kind of sound, like really the vocal is getting freedom. So what we are trying to do here is there I want all the open strings to ring. So I'm going here to play the D instead of the D. That is the difference between this D and that D. Everything is ringing. I want that much of a bottom and surface for the backing there. So why does the D major work? Because the D note is being sung. I went to the D seventh chord. C sharp note is being sung, so I go to the D major seventh. Instead of going too many chords, I'm just staying there and changing some notes and getting the effect. Or B minor. It'll work. B is also there. B minor, G shift. Have to go to the A note at the end. So I'm just adjusting with playing the little finger A note. That's it. So otherwise, chord logic is this. I'm just the D major is dominant for the C sharp. D note is being even everything is possible. Reason for this is the melody note is going to the A. Next part again we need some rhythm. C note is being stressed there. I could have gone with the C major 7, that's why I'm just sticking with C. Another option we could have done is even more dramatic, maybe it's a D7 chord. The reason for A minor is the A and C notes are coming there first. I stuck with C major chord. C sharp is coming, A major chord, B minor, clearly the F note is there. So one more time, possible, or D7. There I can go to A major. Play whatever you want. F major, D minor, what is this? A sharp major 7. You can try a lot of different. Ooh, la, la, la. Ooh, la, la, la. Looks like the D natural minor notes are being used. So there I'll be doing the usual D minor family of chords. This kind of a movement, if you notice, most of my songs I'll be using that, even the D minor. I'm comfortable with it, like a ladder, we can keep on going there. Gives variety, and the family of chords, the scale notes are there, so we won't go too off. And like you know, if the melody notes are not exact with the chord, I'm even happier, because it gives a much better sound than a very strict sound. So here what we are going to do is, after the and do la la la, ooh la la la, ooh la 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 la. I'm not going strict by the note, just going by the family of chords. So that is why any variations are possible. Ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Still intuitively the notes will work, because when I'm going to E, I'm playing the C major. Simple D. G and A notes are then the A minor 7th chord. Okay, we need to go B flat or B flat major 7. Going to the F major 7th chord, or C6 would also have worked, same as A minor 7. Just going by the notes, chords which we already used. Just playing around. So basically, I'm following the notes most of the time. Then instead of using the strict chord, I'm using some other chords so that the vocal will add some color to it. Then rhythm is given importance. Like I said, have a look in the link in the description if you want any more guidance on those topics. Then when we come to the ulala part, I'm basically going by the D minor. I did touch and find what scale it could be. The F is being used and this note is being used, so I can safely go with the D minor family of chords and the progressions which come along with it. Then basically, when you're trying to find chords for a song, also have an approximate idea of the melody. Is the B coming or B flat coming? Then if these three are there, then a G is a possibility. Like that, you can of course find the chords from the phrase. Then as a safety net, it's also useful to touch and see which scale it could be possibly, and then understanding what are the family of chords of that scale to use it in a macro level.